and IRFM, and we know that other media outfit have been reaching out to Doreen. So, welcome to our feature, Spotlight. Today we turn our attention to a serious matter, raising national concern about student safety and accountability in public transportation. We are joined by People's National Party caretaker for Portland Western, Doreen Campbell, who is calling for answers following a troubling incident involving a school bus in Buff Bay, Portland, where a 14-year-old student was injured after falling from a moving bus. Without further ado, let me welcome to the microphone of the 93 Straight Up, Doreen Campbell. Hi, Doreen, how are you doing? Welcome. But Doreen? Hi, Doreen?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Welcome, Doreen. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. How are things going on in your neck of the woods there in Portland? I know you had actually suffered some damage there with some of your residents and so on. Not in the limelight because the focus is on the western side, not the eastern. But how are things coming on? How people are getting back their lives together? I know you have said to me that some of your people who may be small farmers, poultry, chicken rearers and so on, or growers, and their business have been decimated, whether the birds were killed or certainly they had slaughtered, and because of the lack of electricity, they are totally out of business. How are things going on there?
All right, just do a shot.
Well, thank you so much for asking me, and thank you so much for highlighting the fact that Portland has also suffered. I support and I understand the pain that the West must be feeling, because I can't even begin to fathom if that had happened to Portland, just how it would have been for us. But I want Jamaica to understand that Portland also suffered damages. What comes to my mind real quick, outside of the farmers, who it's natural that they're going to be affected by strong wind. There is a house in Charlestown that is hanging, a concrete structure that I had highlighted months ago, that if the river was not, any attention wasn't paid to the river, that house would have been under threat. Sure enough, Hurricane Melissa came, and the house partially is hanging over the cliff, because all the land, the acreage of land that surrounded that house is now washed away, and one of the bedroom of this 3-bedroom house is hanging over the cliff. So the young lady who lives and owns this house had to leave the house and now have nowhere to live. And urgent attention needs to be given to her. I'm really asking for assistance for that family.
That family. Who did you reach out to address this matter, and which agency or ministry that would fall under?
So I get her that visits were made by the work agency, visits was made to her from the parish council or the municipal corporation. In other words, different authorities came, and what they came, they looked, they left. And nothing has happened. I highlighted it, I had highlighted it using my social media program, and a lot of people responded to it, but the authorities did not respond. And that was when we were walking on the land, looking over at the river, and everything was calm. The river is calm, so everything is fine. But there's also persons who tend to believe that people build on the river. What they need to understand about Charlestown, Plum Valley, White River, coming down to Nelson Street into Buff Bay town, they need to understand that behind these properties, the river was like half a mile out.
Good. All right. obviously you have a member of parliament who is a senior minister of government there in the form of Darrell Vaz. As a matter of fact, I must tell you that I've sent my YouTube broadcast here to the minister and the MP for Western Portland. So I'm hoping that he is listening and watching and hearing you. I'm trying to get him. I've tried to get him several times. No luck there, but let's hope he is listening to you, because this is indeed very, very important. So did the member of parliament reach out to that family, and from your knowledge, has he gone to visit the local?
From my information, he himself has not gone. I know agencies have gone, but he himself has not been there.
Himself has not gone. All right. So MP Vaz and Minister Vaz, here is a highlight of a very crucial situation in your constituency where this lady is about to lose her entire dwelling house, and she have been calling on the authorities to do something. We are putting this one out, Minister Vaz. Maybe you want to pay a visit there to see what you can do for her. Where's the name of the place again? Charlestown.
The owner's name is Andrew, and the house is in the community of Charlestown, the Maroon community of Charlestown.
All right, let's hope the member of parliament will hear and reach out. We want to wish that things work out in the best interest of that citizen of Jamaica. Doesn't matter her coloration, whether it's green, orange, or none at all. Not our concern and our business at all. We want help for our people. Now, Ms. Campbell, caretaker for Western Portland. We saw last week, coming into the weekend, yesterday in particular, where you made the news cycle, whether it's print or electronic. And of course, you and I have been talking about this situation before it actually hit, public media. And I know you were watching the situation that had unfolded, but you were getting your information to go. Now, can you please walk us through what happened with this 14-year-old who fell off the bus, the school bus, and got injured?
All right, so this young lady, she's 14 years old. She attends Marymount High School in St. Mary. She travels to and from school using the government provided school bus, the new school buses on the road. And she uses that to and from school. This particular afternoon, she's coming home from school, and it is alleged that another student pulled the emergency lever in the bus, which automatically opens the door of the bus. She was standing on the steps, of course, because the bus is filled with students, and she fell out. What she told me is that after she fell out, it was just
stick a pin right there. You're saying, Madam Caretaker, that the school bus was so filled that persons were actually on the step of the bus?
Yes, and it's not frightening for us it's not surprising for us over here, because we see the buses every day. And that is how they carry the kids. Coming down the Buff Bay Valley, it's the same thing. The bus that I believe is not designed for standing room. They have standing room. The kids are packed into these buses. So I'm not surprised that this actually happened. I saw a report, though, that says that it seems as if the JUTC was saying that they're investigating, and it could be that the child was pushed from the bus. So, in speaking to the child, she did not say she was pushed. She said someone pulled the lever, the door opened, and she fell out. And the rear wheel of the bus almost ran over her.
Wow. Thank God for that. That didn't happen. That did not happen. So,
anybody can.
the supervision level, because you also raise that, you know, in terms of supervision of these was because what we heard from the minister, and let's remind Jamaica that we're talking about these buses, the $1.4 billion controversial bus situation that is now being used to carry the school children. We're talking about a situation that took place with one of these buses. So the minister, as I said before, said that, listen, those buses would be manned with monitors or supervisors. To your certain knowledge, Ms. Campbell, was there a supervisor or anybody else responsible outside of the driver and that particular bus?
No, it was only the driver that was working the bus for the day.
Only the driver?
Yes, only the driver. And once he was notified by the children, which is another problem that I had, he didn't realize, based on what I was told, that someone had fallen from the bus.
Then what happened?
The other children notified him, and he stopped. He did what he was supposed to do. He picked her up, took her to the Anata Bay Hospital, and at the Anata Bay Hospital, she received treatment for soft tissue damage to her knees, and which made it difficult for her. She has not been able to walk properly since that incident. So she has been home, and it's exam time, and she's home.
So, before you, Ms. Campbell, bring this to national attention, where, based on the letter that you penned and so on, all the media houses are now converging on you to get the story. Before that, was there anything in the public domain as it relates to what took place on this bus over there in Portland?
Well, there was nothing in the public, but personally, I wasn't. My interest is not the public. My interest is the interest of the child. And therefore, whether it went public or not, that wasn't my concern. What was concerning was that it took 2 weeks, because I've been watching it. And after 2 weeks, I said, no, I can't be quiet anymore, because the child is being cared for, stitches to take out or dressing to be removed, and it is at a cost to the guidance, the persons who are taking care of this child. And I'm saying, if something like this happens, we must ensure that this child receives the best care possible that money can buy, so that she can be restored to her normal self real quickly. Because she fell from a vehicle operated by the state. So I would have thought that the state would have provided the necessary resources so that she could get adequate care. And I did not see that happening. And I waited and eventually spoke to the grandma, and she too did not hear anything. That's the reason why I cried out.
Good.
For assistance.
Good. So there is a chain of command, a chain of command, or that as to how this thing will be dealt with, or should be dealt with, in terms of persons who will be taking care of the expenses and so on and so forth. What's your understanding of that chain of command to be, Madam Caretaker? Actually,
I would have thought that the Minister of Transport, which I gather operates this bus.
The JUTC commander, the Ministry of Transport, yes? Who happens to be the MP for the constituency as well?
Would dispatch someone, one to deal with trauma, because the child naturally is scared and terrified because she fell from a moving bus, would have somebody dealing with trauma, would have an ongoing investigation in a serious way, in a very quick way. But most importantly, have someone there ensuring that her medical needs are quickly taken care of. And now it's exam time at school that she can get back to doing her final term exam as quickly as possible so she doesn't lose out from school, from her studies. I thought something like that would have happened, but I'm very disappointed that the child is not priority. I don't really care much of the politics of it because I'm already a politician. So I don't need to talk too much about the politics of it. I'm more concerned with the child and the parents who have to support this child. How do we know that the parents have the resources to give her the best care? It is my understanding that if you fell and her knees are, right now I have pictures of her knees being bandaged. She's seriously having a problem with walking. Does she need therapy? Does she need help? Who has a duty of care? I have a number of questions to ask. Who really has a duty of care for this child? Why was there no signal? No signal on the dashboard to alert the driver that a door is open. You're carrying children. Children tend to get out of hand sometimes.
And most of all,
adults to protect this child, these children.
And also, Doreen, we must ask the question: has the chain of command been broken? Because early in the piece, when the questions were being asked, we heard that all the safety feature, which you just mentioned one there, showing up on an indication on the dashboard to say something was awry, that would basically trigger. Also, we understand that there would be an adult person on the bus outside of the driver to ensure that the students are keep in check and so on and so forth. So obviously, as you're saying, the only person that was on that bus at that day, Manning, was the driver. So something certainly had broken down. So we want to get an answer on that as well.
Yeah. So those are the questions that I asked in the media release. Why was there not a supervisor on the bus at the time? In other words, why is there not a second? How can an emergency lever be pulled, which pops open a door? Pack the capacity. The only way for the driver to act and assist would be to stop the bus, jump out through his door, come around to be able to assist. There has to be some mechanism in place to prevent something like this from happening in the future. There's no supervisor. There's no signal on the bus. Who really cares for these child? Who's the bus really on there? The Ministry of Education, Ministry of Transport, right? Was the bus operating within the laws of Jamaica? Because a regular bus and a taxi over there is pulled over by the cops, by the police for overcrowding. How is it that can these school buses be operating so past the capacity? Was these buses designed for standing room? Do they have rails whereby if the driver suddenly stops of an emergency stop, will all the children pitch forward and go through the windshield? They have nowhere to. Are they holding on to something? My memory of the school bus in the States, they don't have. They're not designed for standing room.
No, and I think we were told that as well, that these buses will be carrying student only seated. If I'm not mistaken, I stand corrected on that. So a whole ton of questions out there to be asked, because certainly we want our children to be transported safely, and we are highlighting this because here it is. We don't want any incident like this to happen again. You mentioned earlier that the young child, the 14-year-old young girl, said that the wheel almost ran over her. Can you imagine the mourning, the weeping and wailing and lashing of teeth that would be taking place over there in Portland, in particular and by Jamaica by extension. Just recently, we heard of another young lady. Well, this has nothing to do with the bus or so on, but just the whole business of tragedy. We understand this young lady down in Manchester there who she was basically run over by a garbage truck. Stay with me a bit, Doreen. So come back. Let's go take the 10:30 break. Just hold the line for me, please.
Oh, the one in the
10:30. Are you looking for exceptional dental care? Then look no further, because Wellington Dental is here to serve you. We offer dental care for both adults and children. At Wellington Dental, we know that a visit to the dentist might be mind-boggling, but don't let that stop you from getting the dental care you need. We have trained therapists to help alleviate your anxiety and to make you feel so relaxed you feel like you're at home. Wellington Dental, located at 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. We look forward to serving you.
Bag it, bin it, and we'll collect it. Properly bag, tie, and place household waste in a container and store it in areas easily accessible to our sanitation workers. This waste management tip is brought to you by the NSWMA. On Jamaica. Make we clean up the place.
The following hour is brought to you by Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Wellington Dental, providing dental care at its best.
Welcome back to Straight Up right here and News Talk 93 FM. My name is Conrad O'Brien. They call me the Fireman. Of course, we go up to 12 o'clock. We're in our Spotlight segment and we're talking to the caretaker, Doreen Campbell, for Western Portland as it relates to a very, very dangerous situation that took place over there in the constituency of Western Portland about 2 weeks or so ago, as it relates to a 14-year-old child who fell from one of the school bus. We are basically down on this. Thanks for holding, Caretaker Campbell.
Thanks so much. And let me correct that. The incident did not take place in Portland. The student in question is from Buff Bay in Portland, but it took place in St. Mary.
In St. Mary. Thanks.
But I also, let me quickly commend the driver. Who was operating the bus at the time for his quick action in taking the child to the Anota Bay Hospital. I don't know if that's a part of his training, but if it is, and if it's not, I want to commend him for quick thinking, taking this child directly to the hospital so that she can receive adequate care.
Good.
The long-term effect of that damage that she sustained is something I don't know. And I believe that somebody from the Ministry of Health, somebody, I don't know, is in charge. This is what is perplexing my brain. Because at first I was told that 2 kids fell from the bus. So the other got from the bus. And what she was told surprised me. She told me they told her to go to the MP's office. And I'm like, hold on. Something happens on the bus. A child possibly fell off the bus. They go to the Ministry of Transport Authority, and they're told to go to the MP's office. Now, while I understand the MP is also the Minister of Transport, I believe there is a separation of responsibility here. And the child guardian should not be referred to the MP's office, even though he is the Minister of Transport. So I think who really have the responsibility if something happens to our children on the road? Who acts immediately? Who do these parents look to? Because certainly nobody has been following up with this 14-year-old child.
Because that's my next question. Outside of she being taken to the hospital by the bus driver, nobody had visited on the home to say, how is this child doing, whatever, no, nothing like that?
Nobody. Up to yesterday. Nobody has gone to the house.
Not even the school community?
Nobody has come to the house. The principal called the parent, the guardian, because she actually doesn't live with her mom. She lives with her dad and her dad's mom. So she's in the care of her grandparent and father. So she's working for. And the principal of Marymount High School, I was told, did call in to check on her to see how she was in. She actually went back to school a couple of days this week. But the kind of pain she's experiencing, they don't know how long she's going to be holding up. Luckily, the holidays is coming, so it will allow her to properly heal if there's no long-term damage to her ligaments in her knees.
Well,
but nobody's following up, and that's what is my concern. I need the family to be visited. I need the child to be properly examined to ensure that there is no long-term effect to this 14-year-old girl.
So once again, just to drive home the point, Doreen Campbell, immediate action that you're calling for at this time is?
The immediate action I'm calling for at this time, 1, ensure that she, the child, receive the best medical care. I want to hear that she's doing her MRIs. I want to ensure that they've done a deep dive into her knees to ensure that there's no long-term effect. No long-term damage to her ligaments. That's 1. 2, for the safety of other children, I would like to know that there is an emergency signal lamp installed on the dashboards of all the buses to prevent anything like this in the future from happening. Because it is in the kids' right to pull the emergency lever if they believe there is an emergency. But we're also aware that children are children and they will pull the emergency lever just to see what will happen.
And that is
Unfortunately, it is alleged at this time that the lever was pulled and kids are standing on the door trying to get home. So this child fell out. I am asking that this lamp be placed on the dashboard to alert the driver immediately so that he's not dependent on children to tell him somebody fell out. Because he can't see behind him. It's packed.
And also, Doreen, was there a serious breach as it relates to the second person who is said to be a supervisor, monitor, whatever role?
Right.
That person was missing. That person was missing. What is that?
Yeah, that's the third thing I was going to. Because I remember when the minister was speaking, he said there would have been at least 2 persons on the bus. One, because of how the door was, how the bus is designed, there would have been another person on the bus. And most times when I see the bus, I would see two men in the bus. This particular day, the driver alone operated the bus. I have no idea if this was a norm, but I've seen other buses all over the place when I'm driving across the island, and I would see more than one person operating. But I don't know what's going on in Portland, the stretch from St. Mary into Boss Bay. Not sure what caused on this particular day only one person. There should be a law in place where that does not move, just like the airline. You're not going to send off a flight with just a pilot. There must be a co-pilot, just in case there is an emergency with the pilot. I believe the same thing should apply with the buses. You cannot operate these buses without a driver, and in the old time days, let's say a conductor. Right now, I think they use the word supervisor.
Yes, yes.
So that's another thing that
Yeah,
I
man.
believe was breached.
Yeah, go on.
The fourth thing is overcrowding of these buses. They were not designed for standing room. You are now carrying standing passengers. You must put things in place to protect our children. They are children. They depend on adults to protect them. They depend on the government of Jamaica, who is providing the service, to provide the best possible care. Which leads me to my final question. Who will be compensating the family of this 14-year-old? Which entity of government? Because I'm confused, I don't know. Will be compensating the family of this child who now has to care for this child for the rest of their time that they're in pain. We also know based on injuries, there's sometimes we don't feel major injuries now until another year or two down the road, you're suddenly having pain, discomfort from what was sustained a year or two ago.
Good.
What is the long-term plan, financial plan?
Okay, good questions there, and I hope you'll get those answers. As I leave you here, Caretaker Campbell, now the students, you said that student is in the care of her grandma and dad. Obviously, because of the situation with the child, whether the grandmother or the father, it may impact they going out to basically earn a living because they have to spend more time with the child. All of those things will take in consideration in terms of when you talk about compensation. As it is on the surface of it, I think that those things will have to be taken care of by the Ministry of Transport, well, the JUTC, which those buses come under, but the parent body is really the Ministry of Transport. So let's see what will happen there. You know, I'm still hoping that I'll be able to talk to the Minister of Transport to find out what happened, what breach took place there, and so on and so forth, as I have a few other questions for him. Don't know if he will grace with his presence. Still holding on and holding.
I hope so too. I do hope so too, because the mother of the child too have to believe in what she's doing to also be followed. She doesn't live with the child doesn't live with her, but she's actively involved in the life in her child's life. Right. So you have three parties here that is affected by this, and I think financially, hopefully an attorney will assist this family pro bono, because they don't have the financial resources. And I hope an attorney is listening and they will take this case on behalf of the family and ensure that they receive.
I know that Lord Charles Gangasing is listening, and he always happy to assist families in this way and so on. So maybe, this could be one for him. I will personally reach out to him and see if he is willing to take up this matter.
Thank you so much on behalf of the family.
God bless you and take care. Continue to do the good work. You know, you could have turned a blind eye and don't pay this any attention, but you decide to put pen to paper, write, and here it is, getting the legs to deserve. Thanks a lot, MP Doreen Campbell over there in Western Portland. Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me.
MP Caretaker, we know MP Caretaker over there in East Portland. All right? Thanks a lot, madam. All right, so that's I'm sorry. Darrell Vaz is the Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland, and he is also the Ministry of Transport. We have one MP at a time, so it's actually Darrell Vaz. I think he has gone into his fourth term as MP. All right, and indeed that's so let's see what will happen there, and we hope that whatever breach may have taken place on this particular bus